Welcome back to the Madeline Knit Along, and this is section 3. I'm Janica York Carter, and I've had the pleasure of showing you the first two stitch patterns, and this is the third one. I'm showing you a significant amount of it done because it's a fairly large pattern repeat and it's a bit time consuming, and I didn't want to bore you with you watching me do row after row. So we're going to start by showing you a little bit about how it all looks in the end. This is a simple combination of knit and purl stitches. Sometimes you can get the most interesting textures just by carefully placing your knits and purls. In this instance, we have 13 stockinette stitches or stockinette knit rows interspersed with 5 purls stitches in those rows. Actually, it's 6 rows at a time, forgive me on that, and then 6 rows of stockinette in between. What that actually does is create a texture that almost makes the stockinette look like little circles, kind of like cobblestones. And that was one of the things that intrigued me about this pattern when I first designed the Madeleine shawl. The original yarn I had was full of these rich, earthy tones, and everything made me think of the painted deserts and rocks and stone cottages, and so I chose a lot of patterns that gave that feeling of bricks or cobbles or pebbles, and this was one of them. So I've already done the first couple of repeats of this, so let me show you a row rather quickly. Um, I didn't actually start with doing our shaping here at the bottom, so it's a little bit off of our normal way of doing things. So I also had to go to longer needles because of the longer repeat. We do start, as we've been starting everything else, with a knit one and then a knit in the front and in the back. In this instance, we are going to go ahead and knit 5 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, before we begin our repeat. This is simply because of the shaping that we're doing. So that's already been figured out for you in the pattern, so you don't have to worry about that. The, the repeat is simply purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by 13 knit stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I told you it was long. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Now, this is going to set up our next set of purl stitches, and something that you can do as you're working it is, after you have done a full repeat as I've done here, you'll be able to see if your next block is lining up, which you can see that it is lining up here. So purl 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back to 13 knit stitches. In this pattern, you'll see, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over to the wrong side here. You can see that we, again on the wrong side, knit the stitches as they are presented, similar to what we did in section 1. If it looks like a purl stitch on this side, you stitch it like a purl stitch. If it looks like a knit stitch on this side, you stitch it like a knit stitch. You do that for 6 rows so that you can get on the right side here, that block of 5 purl stitches across that is 6 garter ridge. Sorry, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 uh, ridges across as well. They're not garter ridges really. They're reverse stockinette, but that gets you the little square. And it's just the nature of the way knit and purl stitches can sort of puff up or recede that gives you this effect and that creates the sort of almost circular stockinette bubble. While this is a longer pattern repeat to do, and it had a little bit more math to do for getting the edges set up, I think that it's a very effective portion of the Madeleine shawl for creating a different and interesting textural design. I hope you enjoy making it, and I look forward to showing you how to do section 4 in the next segment.